Your lack of confidence is holding you back. It's the harsh reality, but it's just the truth. If you're someone that struggles with confidence, or you've struggled with confidence in the past, you know how hard it makes just doing the most simple things. Everything is harder when you have zero confidence. If you want to improve your confidence, keep watching this video. I feel like I have some good tips for you guys, because I'm someone that personally grew up with no confidence. I had to build it up over the years, and it was really tough. I've used some of these tips myself. I feel like I have a lot of personal experience with this, so I feel like I can help you guys out too. First thing that I would suggest is just understand that you need to do it for yourself. Don't do it for anybody else. Don't do it because you're trying to get something out of it. Just do it with the purpose of actually being a better person. You're working on yourself, gaining that confidence from within. It's not something that just comes from validation from others. You have to validate yourself and give yourself that confidence. If you're bettering yourself and you feel better about yourself, then naturally you become more confident. Work on yourself and understand that any improvement is improvement regardless. Be proud of just improving, man. Understand that something like gaining genuine confidence is something that takes time, and it's all about just small improvements, man. Just feeling better about who you are and who you're becoming that's the most important part, honestly. And it might be hard if you're somebody that is always looking for validation from others, but understand that it doesn't matter what other people think of you. The only people's opinions that really should matter to you are those people that you truly respect, people in your family or like close friends, stuff like that. But just valuing random people's opinions so highly of you it's gonna hold you back, man. There's no point in taking people's opinions that have no idea about you to heart or that serious. Understand that at the end of the day, you know yourself more than anybody else, and you know who you are, what you're capable of. And people eventually are gonna find out. People will see it. When you're genuinely confident, people see it through you. You don't have to tell people. People will take notice themselves. You gotta understand that if you live off of validation from others, if you live off of like what others say about you, what they think about you, you're gonna leave yourself being very disappointed and feeling unfulfilled when people are not showering you with validation. Sometimes you're just not gonna hear it. And what you have to understand is that people are always watching. People pay attention. You have to give people credit. They're smarter than you think. They're watching. It doesn't mean that everybody's watching is also saying something. You understand that people pay attention without saying stuff. When you're working on yourself and you're bettering yourself, people will take notice. It just doesn't mean that they're going to say anything about it. But just understand, that's why it's so important that you validate yourself and you know who you really are and what you're doing. Another thing that I would say is extremely important nowadays, do not compare yourself to other people and other people's situations. Like, you're not them and they're not you. So when you're constantly living in this world where pitting yourself up against other people all the time, you constantly just worrying about other people, you're spending less time worrying about yourself and what you can control. You gotta understand, man, there will always be people that are richer than you. There will be people that are smarter than you, better than you at all different types of things. That doesn't matter, man. You just gotta worry about being the best version of yourself, and that all starts with being confident in what you bring to the table and who you are. I'm not somebody that always had confidence growing up. My lack of confidence made doing a lot of stuff just extremely hard. I had social anxiety. It was hard to talk to people. It was hard to kind of voice my opinions without feeling shot down, and it was because I was never instilled confidence when I was younger. I never had somebody that was just in my corner like, you can do this, or believing in me, or just like they never instilled that confidence in me. It's just that simple. I'm somebody that grew up extremely insecure, even though I was somebody that was honestly a really smart kid. I feel like I was talented and good at a lot of stuff. I had no idea that I was good or talented or anything like that because I was never instilled confidence. I would say I grew up honestly pretty cold in a sense, and I feel like a lot of that plays a part into that type of thing, like just the way that you grow up. So if you're somebody that grew up and you weren't given that confidence, it leads into your grown life. It doesn't go away. You don't just gain confidence out of nowhere. And so if you weren't somebody that was instilled confidence when you were younger, you have to understand that you have to build it up yourself. Nobody's gonna just give it to you. It's something you have to work on. Just like anything in this life, it's a skill that you have to work on. Being confident is not just something you're born with. Some people have to work on it a little bit more. I grew up just playing basketball. Me and my brother played basketball a lot. My cousins played basketball. Like, all my friends were played basketball together, and that was my favorite sport and what I spent a lot of my childhood doing. And dude, basketball, looking back at it now, like years down the line, it would be so much easier if I just had confidence, man. I had the skill and I put in all the time. I did all the work for it to be good, and I was really good when people weren't watching or when there was no pressure. But anytime there was kind of any pressure or a big game or there was a lot of people watching, I just didn't have the confidence to be my best version of myself, you know? I always just felt like I would be way better if I had the confidence to take the shots I wanted to take and do the stuff that I wanted to do. I just never felt like that growing up, and it made a lot of things hard, and basketball was one of those things. I had friends that were not as good as me, or I knew people that were not as good as me, but they just had the confidence, man. They thought they were the best player on the court, and it showed in the way that they played, man. They just did whatever they needed to do. I was always thinking about what other people were thinking of me. I was thinking of messing up. I don't want to look dumb. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I lacked confidence in myself until I was like a senior in high school. Till then, I would get moments of it, and there were certain things that I was confident at. Like, I knew I was good at video games, or just like I knew I was good at certain things, but I never was fully confident in myself ever. It wasn't until senior year of high school where I remember actually feeling like, damn, this feels good. It feels good to have a little bit of confidence in yourself. And a lot of my initial confidence came from me just kind of getting tired of feeling that way, man. Just never feeling like I was enough in any situation. It just always felt bad, and I felt like since I was getting older, it got to the point that it was starting to get unbearable. I hated the anxiety I would get from just simple situations just because I had zero confidence. One of the main things that got me feeling better about myself, and I remember this from senior year, was getting in the gym. I was always somebody that was extremely skinny growing up. I was a really skinny kid. I never got bullied, but like I just felt very small. I didn't feel good about how I looked or how I was, you know? And I remember the first time that I started taking the gym seriously, everything changed. And it's so cliche, like the whole get in the gym thing. Like, I feel like every guy especially goes through a point, either into high school or like beginning a college time period, where they get in the gym or at least try. Everybody knows that when you look better, you feel better everywhere. You physically feel better, mentally you feel better. I feel like when I'm in the gym, my routine is more on point. I'm taking care of myself. I'm paying attention to what's going on. The thing about the gym that I feel like really boosts the confidence in a lot of people, and it changes a lot of people's lives, is because it gives you confidence within, especially once you start seeing that growth. Making progression is something that feels great. We all know progressing and stuff feels amazing. And I think when you see that progress from the gym, you get that confidence like, oh, I'm doing something right and this feels good. And you get addicted to this feeling of just getting a little bit of confidence. I'm telling you, it makes you want to branch out fully and just experience how it feels like to just have genuine confidence in who you are as a person. I would suggest 100% getting in the gym, getting your body and mind right, especially if you're really not in shape, not feeling good about yourself. I promise you that even you just being in the gym or just worrying about your health, even just for a couple weeks, a few weeks, you know, a month, people are going to take notice, and people are going to start looking at you differently, because people respect discipline. People respect people that say they're going to do something and they do it. And I promise you, this is one of the easiest hacks to 100% just put yourself at a higher level. People will instantly start seeing you differently. I remember when I first started seeing some significant progress from the gym, especially in my arms, because I have some pretty decent arm genetics. Girls were coming and touching my arms or complimenting my progress in the gym and my physique. And this is something that was completely new to me. It was so different. Some of these girls would like flirt with me in the past, and I would talk to in the past, but I wouldn't pay any mind because I had no confidence. I had no idea they were even flirting with me a lot of the time. But a lot of those girls became more vocal and a lot more forward once I got in the gym. it was kind of crazy. It was like a switch just went off or went on. They were just noticing me more. And I don't know if it was because the confidence that I started to expel out after I started to get gassed up from some of these girls initially, but ever since that, I just consistently wanted to better myself and improve because I got addicted from the confidence that I gained from that. It was cool because not only were the women noticing, but like my family members were noticing my progress with the gym and confidence, just who I was becoming. Close friends or people that I didn't even know, they were treating me differently. And it was so new to me, but it was addicting and I loved the feeling of it. This gym time period will really help you fall in love with you and fall in love with the journey of just bettering yourself. So ever since I was a kid, I always cared about my style and how I put myself together. Even when I had no money, I had zero clothes, I would still try to make it work and do stuff and I always cared about how I dressed. I was best dressed in the yearbook in 8th grade. I know you guys don't care, you guys didn't need to hear it, but I just need to let you guys know that little fact. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I'm telling you guys that improving your style even just a little bit instantly will make you feel better about what you're doing. When you feel good in the stuff that you're wearing, it doesn't mean that you gotta wear the most crazy outfit or have the best style ever. No, just having clothes that fit you right, having clothes that you feel comfortable in, having clothes that just work with your lifestyle and what you got going on, that will instantly make you feel more confident when you step out. It's just the truth. A lot of you guys are wearing clothes just because you have to. You're just throwing them on. You don't really care about it, but you should care about how you present yourself, and people will take notice too. I promise you, even if you're someone that does not care about fashion at all, you will 100% still feel better when your clothes fit you better. You can be someone that literally just wears a black t-shirt and jeans for the rest of your life, and that will be completely fine if the shirt fits you really good and the pants fit you really good and you have shoes to go with different occasions. Yeah, you can wear a black t-shirt and jeans for the rest of your life and it will be fine. Invest in getting a good haircut. A good haircut changes everything, I'm telling you. Get a good haircut that fits your head shape. It looks good on you, something that works with your head and your hair type. Invest in getting a good barber. Having a good barber that knows your hair and is gonna make sure that whatever haircut you get suits you is definitely worth the money. Don't go cheaping out on haircuts. People can tell the difference. So it might be a little biased, but I'm actually a barber. I've been cutting hair for the last 10 years and I've put a lot of time into the craft, to be honest with you. And one thing that I can tell you is that when I have a good haircut, I feel good. And every single time I cut one of my clients' hair, I can tell that they literally boost their confidence up after they get a haircut. They come from coming in not smiling, very kind of out of it, to getting out of the chair, seeing themselves and instantly lighting up with a smile and feeling better about how they look. So I'm telling you, a haircut is an easy way to boost your confidence, man, especially a good one. Invest in getting a good haircut. I have dudes that I promise you, they literally come in to boost their confidence. There's guys that they haven't gotten a haircut in the month, but they knew that they had something big coming up. So they're going to come get a good haircut that's going to make them feel right. And they instantly feel better about what's going on. You guys are lucky. It used to be so much harder to find a good barber. It was something that you had to literally go through trial and error to figure out. But we're in the day and age that you can just go on Instagram and find a good barber in your area that have their work to show for it. You don't have to just guess. There's so many good barbers nowadays. Before, I promise you, I had to become a barber myself because I got tired of getting messed up haircuts every single time I went to go get a haircut. Couldn't find a good barber before, but now I personally know so many good barbers, and there's so many on social media. I know you guys have probably seen them. Invest in getting a good barber. It will change your life. As an overall theme, just be intentional with things that you do. Don't just do stuff just because. Do everything with intention. It makes everything so much better when you know why you're doing it. Just going through the motions will just have you feeling lost. Have a plan and execute it. I plan on making a video in the future that delves deeper into finding your style and improving your style in general, but just for a short point in this video, completely changes the way people view you and the way that you will view yourself. It feels good to look good, and we all know that. One of the toughest parts about lacking confidence is that you just feel like you can't talk to people, even people that you know or that you're semi-comfortable with. It could even be hard talking to them when you don't have confidence. And people can tell that too. They can tell that you don't believe in what you say, like you don't have that confidence when you speak. And the sad part about that is when you lack confidence in the way that you say things and the way that you speak, people just will not take you serious. They just don't. Like, you can be saying something as crazy. That's why you see people that are super confident. They can say the craziest things and still have people back them up or still be behind what they're saying, because when people say stuff with their chest and they're saying it with confidence, it makes you want to believe them. And vice versa, when you say stuff and you're kind of very soft with it, you don't even believe what you're saying, you're not confident in what you're saying, other people can read that out too. They can sense when you don't believe in what you say. You guys have to understand, the first step in any of this is just being honest with who you are and how you feel. Be honest with who you actually are. When you get to that point, everything at least comes in easier, because you're not lying to yourself. You know what you have to work on. You know what you're good at. You know what you're not good at. And there's a lot of people that they move around their entire lives with false confidence. They will lie to people and try to seem confident, act like they're confident. But the thing is, if you're someone that has been insecure in the past, or you're someone that hasn't had confidence in the past, then you could just read right through that stuff. It's so easy to read through people that have false confidence in themselves. They're just doing it just to not seem weak. But if you're trying to get better at anything, you have to practice. So if you are someone that struggles with conversation with people, you don't feel confident when you speak, you might get social anxiety in certain situations, then you need to be somebody that practices speaking to people. You have to. I'm somebody that I actually have really good social skills. I've had good social skills since I was young. But the thing is, when I would run into certain situations, I would really get to a point that I had the worst anxiety. Even though I know that I'm good at talking to people, I would get bad anxiety because just the thought of it. I would overthink a lot. I would get into this point, like, do people actually like talking to me, or like this and that? When you're not confident, you will ask questions about yourself all the time, even though deep down you know who you are. It's all about finding this perfect balance of listening to what other people have to say and hearing them out, but also hear yourself out and understand that you have value in these situations as well. Don't always just deter to other people. The second that you start implementing that, when you start saying stuff that you want to say and just letting people deal with it, you'll be surprised how much people start listening. It's the truth. People will start respecting you just for that alone. Speaking your mind, believing in what you're saying, even if it's wrong. And when it's wrong, be willing to learn from other people and take in that too. You have value in these situations as well. Be confident in what you have to say and what you believe too. I feel like that's the perfect balance to get to, is where you're hearing other people out. You understand that you don't know everything, but you also have to understand that you do know stuff too. There's nothing wrong with being wrong, but at the same time, you can't let the fear of being wrong or having anxiety get in the way of saying and doing what you want to do. Lacking confidence is going to make your life with women hell. When you have no confidence, dealing with women it's extremely hard. You put yourself in a real losing situation when you have zero confidence with women. They can tell. Women are smart, man. They can read out when a man has false confidence or has zero confidence in a second. They can tell. My advice with being confident with women is just to treat women like anybody else. At the end of the day, we're all humans. It's easier said than done, because a lot of us tend to put women on a pedestal. Women are awesome, but you can't put them on this pedestal that makes you scared to talk to them, and you get to this point that you have all this anxiety and you have no confidence talking to her when she's just as normal as you are. Treat women normal and you'll be surprised how many of them will just instantly open up more and instantly find talking to you more enjoyable. When you're not over here just panicking because you're talking to a girl and you're thinking about, oh, I'm talking to a girl right now. No, bro, you just have to just sit down and relax and talk to her just like you're talking to any of your friends. Obviously not exactly how you talk to your friends. You can't be scared to talk to women. They're just people out there. And the thing is since I had no confidence when I was younger, I would have girls that were really interested in me, but I couldn't even believe that they were interested in me because I had no confidence. Or anytime I would get a compliment, I think that it's a joke, or I just didn't take it fully serious. And stuff like that, man, it will hold you back. It will literally ruin your life and your perception of conversations and people. You have to stop thinking that everybody is thinking the worst of you, especially people that don't know you, bro. You can't just assume that everybody has the worst of you and they're watching your every small move and they hate everything you're doing and they're thinking so badly about you. Yes, there's some shitty people out there and there's people that are like that, of course. They just don't know you, so they're gonna go off of how you act and how you present yourself and what you give them. So if you come off as a kind, confident individual and you know how to present yourself, you're gonna find yourself being in a lot more positions to make friends or to get a girlfriend or to talk to girls. You'll be surprised how many opportunities you're given when you just believe in what you say and you come through in a confident manner. People can read it out so easily, man. It's the most sad, best thing when you realize that deep down, nobody cares. That sounds harsh, but you gotta understand, it makes life so much easier when you realize nobody cares. It should make things way easier for you, and it should make you want to care for yourself more. Do it for you, bro. Do it because you want to see the best version of yourself. Do it because you want to feel better about yourself. At its core, when I stopped comparing myself to other people and stopped worrying about what other people were doing and just worrying about myself, I just felt confident in everything I was doing. There's things that I'm into, there's things that I'm not into. I have my own personal interests, things that I enjoy, and those are the things that make me me. I believe in what I believe in, and I do what I want to do. That's what makes me myself, and it makes me authentic. The second you start doing stuff trying to be like other people or trying to be just this version that's not even you, it becomes super inauthentic and people will read it out just as easily. When you're genuine and you're authentic and you're just trying to be like you and nobody else, other people are going to notice that too, and they're going to appreciate it. There's something that's just so fascinating about people that are into very niche things, but they just love it and they believe in it and they're very knowledgeable in it. There's something that's so fascinating about that to me, and that's what makes us all special. Like, just being authentically into what you're into and enjoying what you like, and not trying to cosplay as somebody else to get the attention from people. Like, just be the best version of you, not trying to be this somebody else. Like, you're just trying to be the best version of yourself. That's it. When you're just in your own lane and you're just doing your own thing, doing you, people will take notice 100%. They always do. They're gonna see and feel that difference from you. And that doesn't mean that you gotta be doing too much either. A lot of these people are extremely insecure, and once you get to a point that you've been there and you've done that, then you just read it so easily, man. You can tell when somebody's insecure. Know who you are, know what you're good at, what you're not, and that will help guide you through a lot of this stuff. It's okay not being good at stuff. You can work on shit. You don't have to be bad at stuff forever. You can work at stuff, and that's what's gonna build that confidence. Once you see that, oh, I wanted to do this and I did it. I wanted to change this and I changed it. Once you start seeing that you're becoming this person that is reliable and you do what you say you're gonna do, you're gonna feel more confident about everything you do. Now you're gonna start believing in what you say more than what other people say. Now you're gonna trust your gut before you trust other people. And I think that just makes stuff way better. There's nothing wrong with not being where you want to be right now, but work towards it. You don't want to be at this point that you're like that forever. It's a miserable life when you know that you want to be better, but you don't have the discipline to get there. That's such a bad feeling. If I'm going out and I'm putting on an outfit, I'm already thinking that, oh, I look good. I like this outfit, and I'm excited to step out. If people compliment the outfit, cool. If people seem to like it, cool. But it never matters to me because I already think it's really cool. And once you have that peace of mind with everything, it makes stuff so much easier when you just understand that, well, I think it's pretty cool. I think I'm doing pretty well. I like who I am. I like what I'm doing. It makes it so that all the outside noise, it just doesn't matter as much. And it gets to a certain point that it almost doesn't matter at all. You just don't really care. I went from going to parties or going to even just something like the fucking grocery store and thinking that everybody's looking at me, thinking I look weird, thinking that I'm doing this or that. And deep down, nobody cares. Nobody's paying attention. And even if they are, I'm so much in my own world and doing my own thing that I don't even notice anymore. I don't even pay attention to people that could be staring at me or could be thinking badly of me. And it just doesn't matter. They don't know who I am. There's so many women from the past that I know that chose my friend back in the day, or we more interested in my friend or other people around me. I had no confidence, so I wasn't going out my way to talk to these girls. We can't change everything in this life, unfortunately. There's a lot of circumstances that we can't do anything about. But working on you and being the best version of yourself, it is fully in your control. Nobody else has control over that than you. So you have to get on it. Do it for you, and do it because you want to be a better version of yourself. Do it because you want to feel better about who you are. If you truly want to gain self-confidence, you have to better yourself and be honest about the journey. None of us are perfect, but that's what makes life beautiful, is that we're shooting just to be better. Nobody in this life is perfect. Everybody got work to do, and you're no exception. Always be open to criticism, always be open to be better, always be open to learn, and understand that life will get significantly better once you start understanding that you can't change everything, but the stuff that you can change, focus on it, man. You can't control all the stuff around you, but you'll be surprised how much better things get when you just start working on the same stuff that you can control, and stop beating yourself up about the stuff that you can't. I'm gonna leave it at that. It gets down to a point that when you're consistent on bettering yourself, you're putting in the work on bettering yourself, you're gonna see improvements, and you're gonna see your confidence shoot up in a natural way that's not forced, that's genuine. And it's a beautiful thing. I hope that anybody that's lacking with confidence right now, I hope that you can apply some of these to your daily life and just the way that you think. I tend to say this saying a lot when I talk to people about this type of thing, but people can only ignore you for so long. You know what I mean? People can not pay attention to what you're doing for so long, but then it gets to a point that they can't even help but notice it.